Hey guys, it's Ashley. Today we're going to be doing some prep work for all of our dinners for this week. I have 5 different meals planned, and I think that for the other 2 meals we'll probably just lean on leftovers or something smaller. So I thought I would take you along with as I just do these quick preps. Sometimes when preparing food to last a much longer period of time, it takes a lot longer. And so I'm trying to focus just on doing a shorter period of time, fewer meals, and on the weekend, so that hopefully our week will go really smoothly. We have a lot of busy nights this week, so I'm excited to see how this will work for us. So the 5 meals I have planned are, tonight we're going to do hamburgers, corn on the cob, and some salad. I'm going to throw together a lasagna, a new recipe that I've not done before, enchiladas, a chicken pot pie, and then we have some pork tenderloin. The pork tenderloin is already marinating, so I actually am not going to do anything for that meal. We have vegetables and things to go with it as sides. So I already have some water boiling here for my lasagna noodles. It looks like we can almost put those in. For the chicken, for the pot pie, and also the enchiladas, I actually have 2 rotisserie chickens. I got some, what I thought was going to be really great organic chicken, and it was horrible. It turned out it was like, the texture was weird anyway, so I just, you know what, I'm just gonna go with these rotisserie chickens this time. It's got good flavor, and I think that it'll not only stretch for those 2 recipes, but also we'll have a lot more in our kitchen for other things as well. As soon as I get these lasagna noodles boiling, I'm gonna get the chickens picked clean, and then we'll work on getting everything else going. For our hamburgers, I have 2 pounds of hamburger for that, and then the other pound of hamburger, and then the pork sausage is going to be for the lasagna. Those are still thawing. We might have a little bit of frozen meat still when we start working with them. Here are the 2 rotisserie chickens. I've just sort of tented these a little bit ago to help cool them down so they're a lot easier to handle. Corn on the cob, we'll get that shucked. I have some of my big Pyrex sort of glass containers that I often use for making freezer meals, which we don't really have many of right now, but we kind of are doing we're utilizing the freezer meal idea a little bit because not all of this is gonna last a full week in the fridge. So some of these things will go in the freezer. So I have actually a really big one. This is more like a 11 by 13. And this is the pan that we're gonna do the enchiladas in because we will definitely utilize a lot of leftovers. I think we're gonna do the lasagna in this one that's got a lid, and probably end up putting this one in the freezer because the lid. This one we'll put in the fridge and maybe have that tomorrow. Okay, we are moving quite along. My husband is working on the pot pie, and so he just cut up this celery from our backyard and working on the onion, and then he'll get the rest of the vegetables sauteing in there. I got the lasagna noodles cooled down and drained. I rinsed them in cold water, and then they're fine to sit in a pile like this. If you just drain them and set them in a pile and don't rinse them, then they'll stick together and become a mess. So that's why I rinsed them off. I have the pork sausage and the beef going for the lasagna. I took the chicken off the bone. I'm shredding some cheese. And then here are sort of the ingredients that I use for these enchiladas. We do enchiladas a lot of different ways, but this is a recipe we haven't done in a long time, and it calls for this cream of chicken, salsa, sour cream, chili powder, cheese, and that's it, besides the chicken and tortillas. So yeah, it's super good. So I'm just getting that going. Another awesome use for these containers. We store cheese and things like that from the store, but I love being able to just shred right in here, and then any cheese that we don't use, just put the cap back on and ready to go back into the fridge. Not only are we trying to make our week a lot easier, but we're trying to making our week a lot easier this time. So I have 2 cans of that in. I'm going to double the recipe. 1 cup. I'm going to call that 2 cups. I like a lot of salsa. Well, we like a lot of salsa in our enchiladas. Okay, so for each batch, and again, I'm doubling this, so for each batch it takes a half a cup of sour cream, a cup of salsa, and a can of soup, plus chili powder. Stir this separately because I'm going to put a little sauce in the pan. These are a very creamy enchilada, and I really like them like that. Okay, so 4 cups of chicken and a cup of cheese. I did not put a cup of cheese in here because we'll put cheese on the top as well. So I added about 2 cups of the sauce mixture in with the chicken, and we are ready to assemble. Okay, I am going to cover this and put it in our fridge. It's ready to go. We will put on lettuce, tomatoes, maybe some green onions when we serve it. And yeah, that's it. This is actually a recipe that the first enchilada recipe that my husband and I ever made. But like I said, we haven't made it in a really long time. So I thought we would bring it back for a minute. Our meat is done cooking, so I'm going to put in one 28 ounce, I believe, can of whole peeled tomatoes. You can probably use any kind of tomatoes you want. I went for the large one instead of 2 smaller ones, which the recipe called for. To me, it doesn't make sense, so I went big. And I'll just kind of crush those up a little bit more. And now I'm going to add 2 jars. You can see that, tomato paste, some basil, parsley, and salt. I'm going to use a little water and get all of the rest of that out. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of parsley. 2 tablespoons of basil, and 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, now we're just going to kind of let this cook for quite a while. You can see in there. We're just going to let this go for maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Okay, all of the chicken pot pie filling is done. We are, well, almost. We are just about to add the chicken, but this is the sort of like the sauce and the veggies all ready to go with broth. All right, we are ready to assemble the lasagna. The noodles, like, you know, they're done. The sauce is done cooking. I have the, I guess the white layer for the lasagna all mixed up. This is cottage cheese, Parmesan cheese, parsley, eggs, and we're gonna put on mozzarella too. I cannot believe how much cheese and sort of those types of things are in all of these meals. This is unusual for us to have so many in such a short period of time. I had some help. The kids helped me shuck the corn. The pot pie filling is cooling over here. We decided to have this later in the week, so we're gonna go ahead and throw these in the freezer and then make the biscuits, which we prefer over like a pie crust. So we'll throw that in the Dutch oven with the biscuits on top later in the week. And so the corn's done. We need to shape hamburgers, which my husband is just about to start doing. We're gonna assemble this lasagna and we're pretty much done. All right, we layered the lasagna and I put a little sauce on the bottom and then just went noodles. The white layer, I did this sort of configuration with the fresh mozzarella and then red sauce, and then one more of that, noodles, red sauce, and then some cheese on top. I decided to go for this fresh mozzarella instead of, I guess, the low moisture stuff. But yeah, I hope it turns out. Still about to get the burgers made, but we're just gonna do a quick clean job on the kitchen, and then we are done. We made 4 burgers out of each pound of hamburger, and then we'll just salt and pepper them right before we grill them and boil the corn, and then that's gonna be dinner for tonight with some salad. And then all of the other things that we will eat with these meals will be fresh. We have a lot of fresh vegetables in our fridge as well as in our garden right now. So simple salads, even if it's just like cucumber, tomato, lettuce with any combination of those, carrots, onions. We have lots of options for that. Okay, all of that really didn't take that much time. I would say maybe 2 hours, and we were kind of in and out. We had other stuff going on as well. And we worked together on it. A lot of times during the week, it's me doing most of the, I guess, food preparation stuff, and he more does the cleanup end of things. But it was kind of nice to do the preparations for both together on a few of these. So I'm thinking this is going to help make our week go really smoothly. We have a lot of the stuff prepared and done. I know we're going to have tons of leftovers, so it's probably going to carry us well over a week. And a lot of times people eat leftovers for lunch happily as well. So thank you for coming along with me today. Please let me know what your best tips and tricks are for meal planning and preparing food for your week. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.